All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, welcome to another edition of Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan and my wonderful colleague, guest, friend, and all the above. We haven't played basketball together yet, but I'm sure we can play together sometime. I love it. Mr. Curtis Ross, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing outstanding, Kevin. How are you?
Oh man, fired up today, man. As you know, we've been working on this for a minute, so we thank God for you, man, and thank you so much for your time today. Hey, folks, those listening live right now and those listening later on, thank you for your time as well. We got a powerful segment here today, guys, with Mr. Ross. Hey, we're going to be talking about money, talking about your finances, folks. You guys got to pay attention. And guess what, Curtis? I want to put this out there. You got to master your money, folks. You're going to have to master. We're going to talk about that with one of the best in the business here as well, Mr. Curtis Ross. But Curtis, as you know, we always love to have our guests say a few words of encouragement. Man, a lot going on the planet right now, but any words, opening words and words of encouragement for our audience right now? Thank you so much, Mr. Ross.
Yes. Let me just encourage you to make sure that you are giving your full and undivided attention to the person in the mirror. Because
Yes.
what we understand and recognize is that you create what it is that you focus on.
Yeah.
And so, because God has given us the ability
Yeah.
to produce wealth for ourselves
Come
and
on
create
now.
wealth for ourselves,
Yeah.
one of the areas of this modern time is to not let yourself be distracted by the things going on outside of you, but recognize that you have the power to
Yeah.
create what it is that you desire. So, again, as I close on this particular portion, just be sure that you are giving your full and undivided attention to the person in the mirror.
Yeah, I love it. What great advice, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we're here with Curtis Ross, ladies and gentlemen. Read his bio and some information about him in a second here. But folks, I want you to seriously pay attention today to Mr. Ross. We're talking about mastering your money. We're talking about some other areas as well as relates to finances, folks. I think most of you on the planet know what's going on right in the area of money and how it's moving around the planet, but it may not be moving in your pocket the way you need it to. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit today as well. Hey, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Curtis, ladies and gentlemen. Stuff I didn't even know about. I had to read his bio. I love it. Hey, he's a native of Atlanta, Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. Curtis would say that he was born to serve others. Wow. That's wonderful. To even have the awareness of that. That's pretty good. I love it. As an adolescent, ladies and gentlemen, he recalls lending an ear to young ladies and sometimes guys when they were having relationship or life challenges. So he had a good ear, folks, for trying to help people. I love it. It always seems to be perspective on how he listened and caused him to keep an audience of his peers. Believe it or not, folks, when people listen to you, folks, man, when you listen, people will listen to you as well. It's amazing. Fast forward today, ladies and gentlemen, you'll find that he's also a licensed chaplain. Congratulations on that, Brother Ross. What a powerful area, ladies and gentlemen. He's a licensed chaplain as well. Professional life coach, family man. Love that part of him right there. Family man and friend. Counsels married couples and helping men and women, ladies and gentlemen, create a life of dreams, as he mentioned earlier. He'll be doing all of his, he'll be doing all of this while living his best life to serve others. Wow, I love it. His most recent reinstatement license informed the information, his most recent reinstatement and license informed the financial services, is in the financial services industry, ladies and gentlemen, to help close the gap on accessible financial education for working families. I love it. He also, too, a little bit from his LinkedIn page, ladies and gentlemen, and he is a performance-driven sales professional with 20 years of experience managing high-value territories, growing multi-million-dollar portfolios, and consistently exceeding quotas in competitive business-to-business environments, ladies and gentlemen. He's also built reputation in turning around underperforming accounts, delivering strategic insights to C-suite stakeholders, and closing deals that drive long-term revenue, ladies and gentlemen. Whether he's leading a virtual training, optimizing pipeline performance in Salesforce, or presenting tailored solutions to business owners, he brings relentless focus on value, growth, and execution. In every role, he managed over 100 million, ladies and gentlemen, in territory in OneTrust and surpassing 120% of quota at the GreenSky, quota at GreenSky. He thrived, faced fast-paced, results-driven environment where trust, consistency, and follow-through mattered. Now he's focusing in on the level of helping you folks with strategy, impact, and performance for the next millennium, if you will, next challenge. So we're excited about that. His top skills, ladies and gentlemen, is communication, leadership, sales management, coaching, and motivational speaking. Once again, welcome, Mr. Curtis Ross. Wow, what a great bio, man. I
Thank you.
love it. What a great bio. Thank you so much for that. Well, Curtis, first of all, I want to open up with, man, let's talk about this financial services, financial education, and financial literacy. Can we talk about the difference for our audience today between the three?
Yes, yes. So when we talk financial services,
Yes,
let's
sir.
just look at it like this. There are a multitude of products in the marketplace that
Mhm.
various banking institutions, insurance companies, and the like have created.
Yeah.
So the financial services vehicle is designed to distribute. So that's the key word when you think financial services. You
Mm,
think a distribution model so
gotcha.
that it allows for people to obtain or yet gain access to the products that exist within the industry. Now, when we begin to look at
Mm-hmm.
financial education becomes the form of teaching and
Yes.
training people on the very products that are being distributed. So the key word there in financial education is awareness.
Mm,
So through financial education, working families, people become aware of the
yes.
products that are being distributed in the marketplace. And then third and final would be financial literacy. Now, this
Mhm.
is where, and I'm going to put it out there at the front, this is where you begin
Yes.
to activate because
Yeah.
financial literacy now speaks to your ability to say that I am cultured in my
Mm-hmm.
understanding of the financial products that are being distributed in the marketplace, meaning that I now, not only through awareness, but I now know how to activate, I now know how to execute through
Yeah.
my literacy of
Yeah.
these financial products to better assist my family, to better support my future. And so that now becomes how financial, excuse me, how the financial services
Mm-hmm.
through financial education creates financial literacy.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about right there, Brother Ross, right there. That last part, folks, we want you to be literate in this area. You have to master money and your finances, folks. And with that said, we're going to release the mic to Brother Ross because we sent some questions to him earlier. But if you don't mind, Curtis, talk to our singles, please. I want to talk to our singles first because they need the most help, I believe, right now in our nation. But can you talk about the top 5 areas that our singles need to hear from you and how you can help them out a little bit? Thank you so much.
So when we think singles, obviously we want to understand that
Yeah.
although you may be single, you are still yet connected. You're connected in various environments and various spaces.
Yes, sir.
And so, one of the key components to the philosophy when it comes to money is definitely recognizing your income flow,
Hmm.
right? So, when we think about those five components, it is recognizing your income flow because that in the marketplace will be considered your cash flow.
Gotcha.
Then, from this perspective, we now say, who's most important? Is it the external market or
Hmm.
is it the internal market? Because let me clarify that from a business perspective, as a single person in a marketplace, you want to look at yourself like a business.
Yeah.
And in so doing, one of the key components to looking at yourself like a business is recognizing that it is necessary that, and you probably heard this before, that you pay
Hmm.
yourself first.
Right.
And so when it comes to that income, number one, number two is how am I ensuring that I'm covering me first? So once we do that, then we go to level three, which is okay, we recognize that on average, you're going to have some degree of debt.
Yeah. Right.
So once we identify and ensure and secure me paying myself first, savings, those types of things, now I'm going to secure and understand that I have a responsibility in the marketplace
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
pay back my debt,
Yeah.
pay up my debts, even if those
Yeah.
debts are recurring, like light bill and things of that nature. Right.
Hmm.
So I want to do that as a
Yeah.
single person.
Yeah.
Again, and this is all strategically set up. And then
Yeah.
number four, once I recognize my debts and I'm able to secure those and manage those, then number four is now putting myself in a position to understand, okay, how are my risks being managed against those
Yeah.
debts? This is oftentimes where types of insurance come into play. Because again, when you don't look at yourself as an island, then you recognize that if something were to happen to you, and your income was stopped, or if
Hmm.
something were to happen to you and your debt could no longer be covered by you, then
Hmm.
various forms of risk management, which are found in insurance products, should be taken care of on level four.
Hmm.
And so we want to consider that and make
Yeah.
sure that we're not leaving our loved ones to various situations that we created in our lifetime as a single person. And then on number five, point number five, is also looking towards the future. Oftentimes, people are working towards retirement. And so it's now taking the idea of paying yourself first on number two and
Hmm.
also identifying through the 401ks, through the IRAs, through the Roths, having the conversation, developing that literacy framework
Hmm.
to say, how do I posture myself to on that fifth level, be in a place, in a position to where when I reach those retirement years and I can no longer work, I can no longer effectively be
Hmm.
employed in the marketplace, yet I still want to maintain a decent level of living. Then how can I do that? What does that look like? And how do I posture my money? And this is going to be key here. How do I posture my money to work for me
Yeah.
to ensure that while I'm working, that there is a period of time that I will say this, that concurrently while I'm working, I am also putting my money in a posture, in a position to work for me,
Yeah.
accelerating my income in various ways so that when I get to those retirement years, I can live the life that I truly desire to live.
Wow, that's powerful. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan, my wonderful guest today. We're talking about money today, folks, our financial literacy, talk education, and so much more. And he just broke it down. That's Mr. Ross, Curtis Ross, talking about our money. I wanted to have the segment in with our singles. He's talking to our singles right now. So all my singles, you got to master your money. That's what this is all about. And Mr. Ross, you know, one thing about this, it's not that hard, really. I mean, this is really basic math. Is that correct? Is that a correct statement?
It's very, very basic math. It's the discipline is what throws us off, Kevin. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And the planning. And it's so important. I really want to stay on our young people for it because they need a little help. They have to understand about a budget. Can you talk a little bit about planning and having a budget, if you will, and maybe, and not only just in your head, but it has to be written down and understood. Can you talk a little bit about how important it is to have a budget, please?
Yes, yes. So of course, from a sensory component, typically most things start in our mind as far as our thought process. But to your point, we want to also engage our senses by writing things down, by putting a plan together. So of course, I initially talked about understanding your cash flow, but as we get more detail,
Yeah.
understanding your cash flow meanings understanding, okay, what's coming in as it relates to what's going out,
Yeah.
and how do I begin take those components of those five areas and to your point begin to strategically budget or
Mm.
plan out where my money is going to go based on what's coming in so that I can create a framework and
Right.
I can even set goals for myself, right? Savings goals, investment goals,
Mhm.
other travel goals, discretionary goals. These are terms that we learn and that we identify when we become financially literate through the educational framework so that we can begin to strategically manage and operate our business and a profit. Because again, when you look at yourself like a business, when you run your life like a business, then you
Right.
recognize that there are profit and losses. You
Wow.
recognize that a framework needs to be put in place so that you can, at the end of the year, when
Mhm.
it's time for tax season to come around, you can look at your balance sheet and say, okay, I ended the year in profit. What might that mean? Because I planned, because I budgeted, because I managed my expenses, because I managed my do's and my don'ts, and I didn't go after my wants before I took care of my needs. Because all of this was documented, and because I created a goal and a plan for myself, I can say that at the end of the calendar year, I ended the year in profit because I saved. I hit my savings mark. I hit my investment marks. And I see that I didn't increase my debts, but I yet decreased my debts because of my disciplines.
Oh, I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Mr. Curtis Ross about our money today, guys. This is very, very important. We got a segment here about our singles. Singles, we want you to learn more about Mr. Ross's services. Matter of fact, we're going to do a commercial break right now, Mr. Ross. How can people get in touch with you? Let's do that right now because somebody said, okay, I need to talk to Mr. Ross after the show today. But can you tell us a little bit about how to get in touch with you, my friend?
Of course, you can definitely find me online, curtisross.com. You can also email me directly at curtisross78@gmail.com. So if you want to email me directly and not have to even go through the website, you can email me directly at curtisross78@gmail.com. And the subject line, financial education or financial education interest. And we can take that from there. We can set up a call to better understand what questions you might have,
Yeah.
therefore leading to an opportunity to educate you further within our framework.
Fantastic. And Mr. Ross, also too, do you do speaking engagements as well? You go out and speak to groups and organizations as well. Is that correct?
Yes, more than open to come in and speak about these key philosophies that you and I are discussing here, foundational philosophies for
Exactly.
people to engage in and create their own disciplines
Hmm.
within that. And again, the same framework of finding me there at curtisross.com, the same framework of reaching out, curtisross78@gmail.com. And of course, in the subject line, speaker or speaking opportunity available, however you want to frame that for us to have a conversation. But ultimately, that
Right.
email or reaching out to me would allow us to get on the phone to better
Yeah.
assess the
Right.
opportunity and the need.
Amen. That's why I mentioned it. Hey guys, everybody listening all across the network here, I want you guys to consider inviting Mr. Ross to your organization, groups, and association meetings. Okay, you guys need speakers, right? You can invite them over to talk to your in the network folks, and even your employees as well. So you guys can do that. And all my colleagues, Mr. Ross, that have podcasts, television networks, their own stations. You need to invite Mr. Ross as well, virtually or live, if he can accept that as well, to come and talk to your audience about these wonderful areas, folks. We're talking about financial education, financial literacy, folks, so important, and the power of money, what you need to know about. And right now, we're just talking to our singles, but because we want to make sure you have enough information to make good decisions. And that's where Mr. Ross comes out. He's one of the best in the business, folks. He's qualified, certified, and he can help you grow in this area as well. The goal here is to master your money, folks, and your finances. We want you to do that. Now, I had to learn a lot of stuff, folks. I learned a lot of stuff, Brother Ross, over the years. So now we try to make sure folks don't go through that same path, they don't have to.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Well, let's shift now, Brother Ross. Let's talk about our wonderful married couples. We have awesome families that listen right now. They needed help, little help. The mom and the dad said, can somebody help us with these finances? So, Mr. Ross, I'm going to release the mic to you again. Let's help our married couple out. What do you have of the top 5 areas for our married couples today that you offer and can help them with?
So I'm going to definitely open up from a marriage perspective. And because I am married, I can definitely speak very heartfelt in this space. I want to definitely open up by saying that number one is going to be the vision
Yeah,
that you and your spouse are able to come into agreement on.
yeah,
And I'll
yes.
leverage a scripture. Amos 3:3 says that how can two walk together except they be agreed? Now, there may be various contexts and ways to interpret that, but let's just take it for what it's worth. How can
Right,
two walk together
right,
except they be agreed? And so
right,
when we take that scripture and we look at a marriage component and we look at money, then we definitely want to start out by saying a family, a spousal commitment is to one say, let's put a vision together. Where do we want to go and grow with our money? and what type of an agreement can we put together that would eventually be our goal? And what does that look like? So I would say, number one, let's come into agreement. Let's put the vision together. Let's write it down and make it plain
Yeah.
for ourselves as a
Yeah.
couple. And then number two, inside of that agreement, let's recognize that, and I'm going to go here first, because one of the first things that my wife and I did upon getting married is that we recognized that we both carried a risk on each other. And what do
Mm.
I mean by that? Uh, coming and going into our marriage, we began to assume certain debts, just daily recurring debts. And so
Mm.
we recognized that between the income that we were earning and the debts that we were managing together,
Yes.
what sit in between the two of us was the risk. And what do I mean by that? I educate people understanding that there's always the risk of what if. Now, what do I mean by the risk of what if? When you set a goal, there are two
Hmm.
sides to what if. On one side, what if every goal I hit right on time, in time? That's the ideal of the
Yeah.
goal.
Right.
On the other side of what if I don't hit the goal on time, in time? And what
Hmm.
if something in the middle happens
Hmm.
that causes for that to go awry? This is where planning for the risk comes into place.
There you
And so,
go.
what do I mean by that? One of the first things we did is we took out life insurance policies on each other. Like, we didn't waste any time, because
Awesome.
she and I both understood that
Hmm.
before we go any further and build out this family, we need to ensure that if anything were to happen to either one of us, we would
Hmm.
not leave the person in a worse off position. And so, from a spousal perspective, this is always, from my perspective, the first thing that you want to consider. You're going to love your spouse enough to ensure that if something were to happen to you, God forbid, you do not leave them in a worse off position. So
Wow.
when we start to now scale up, we scale up into, okay, so now that we've set our vision, now that
Mhm.
we've covered the baseline of risk, now
Right.
let's start looking at our savings component,
That's good.
because we must consider our family first before we put the companies and the debtors first. Of course, this is not the habit that the marketplace has indulged in, and this is why I believe that financial services, education, and literacy is ultimately important, because we do want to make sure that we are putting money away for our family first, because
Hmm.
it will be our family that will suffer in
Hmm.
the event that things go awry in the marketplace. So, how are we going to save? Where are we going to put our money? And what strategies are we going to deploy for this household? And then as we go to the fourth level, it's the same thing I talked about with the singles. We
Yeah.
got to recognize our income and our debt flow.
Yep.
It's going to be necessary that we budget, that we plan, that we have a strategy for the money. Now, because now we've taken two corporations and we've combined them into one.
Yeah.
Because remember, I was once a business.
Right.
Now I've come into partnership with another business and we've
Hmm.
become one. So now we are one corporation, and we want to make sure that we are managing our balance sheet. We want to make sure that we know what our profit and losses look like. You want to know your money, know your
Yep.
customer. You are your primary customer in the marketplace. You want to know your customer, know your values, know what it is that you believe in and what it is that you don't. And oftentimes this takes place in the agreement process, which is step one. And then
Hmm.
number five, because you set the goal and because you set the vision and wrote it down and made it plain, number
Hmm.
five is, if you're interested, if you're having children, if you're growing your family, and all of these things are being managed, then
Yep.
what we're talking about here is generational wealth. We're talking about blessed to be a blessing. We're talking about leaving generational wealth behind.
Hmm.
Insurance is a framework. It's a part of that, but it's not the end all be all. It's
Hmm.
just a part of that framework. Now we're talking about where you're putting your money. What instruments are you leveraging to accelerate your income? Because there is a way for your money to move faster than time itself. And that is called a framework of compounding.
Hmm.
Again, we get into that in the educational component so that when
Right.
you get to the literacy component, you know how to activate that type of revenue generation. And that is the money working on your behalf. That is your money working for you when you're sleeping. But if you're not taught that, then you only know how to work for money when you're awake, and that is limited. But from
Right.
a couple's perspective, it is taking one can put 1,000 a flight, two can put 10,000 a flight. So it's accelerating your income, two minds coming together, the power of one and the power of acceleration. And that's what I would share with my couples, taking
Wow.
those two power minds, bringing it together, and creating a powerful outcome.
Oh, that's powerful, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we got him on Power Connections, man. That's Mr. Curtis Ross, ladies and gentlemen. We've been talking about financial services, folks, financial education, and financial literacy, folks. It's so important that we master our money. Whether you're single or married, folks, you got to master that money. Man, Mr. Ross, that's some powerful areas, and I trust that our audience is enjoying that right now. Hey, guys, here's his website up here as well. I want you guys to set up an appointment and get your discovery call in there, curtisross.com. And he's also on Facebook, guys, and also LinkedIn as well underneath his name. So please set up those appointments, guys, and get your information that you need to learn about as well. And also, I want to put another plug in there, guys. Everybody, if you got a group, organization, association, you got a business with employees, you need to invite Mr. Ross to come talk to your team. Okay, talk to your organization and so forth as well. You guys have speakers throughout the year, right? At your different events. If you can book them, guys, and they ain't free now. You have to, do something about that. It's okay, folks. It's not free, so you want to make sure you invite him to your organizations, association, and group meetings, guys. And if nothing else, have him come in and talk to you about the finances, because there's a lot going on today. A lot going on today as well in that area. Well, Mr. Ross, I tell you, this is part I want to give to you as well. The takeaways, final thoughts, and a call to action. I'm going to let you take that any way you want, folks. And then we'll also want to let people know how to get in touch with you at the end. Thank you so much.
Well, ultimately, I'll close somewhat with how I opened up with the encouragement component. And what I've recognized is that I'll speak to you, the audience,
Yeah,
you must understand
yeah,
that you create, that God has given you the power and the ability to create.
yeah, exactly.
So I must encourage you, I must employ that you strongly look at your
Yeah,
way of thinking. There's a scripture in the Bible, I think it's Proverbs 4:7. And the New Century Version states
mm,
that we want to be careful what we think because
yeah,
our thoughts run our lives. And
mm,
so, my closing thought,
mm,
it recognizes that even in the midst of getting financial education through financial services and becoming financially literate,
yes,
you are not able to maintain that altitude without first self improving.
mm,
You
yeah,
must self improve if you're going to obtain new information that you intend on maintaining and growing with. Because
mm,
there is no way it's creating capacity. So your ability to self improve
yeah,
creates some capacity for the new information that you are growing with. But if you think that you can take in new information without intentionally growing your mind through
mhm,
growing your health practices, growing your lifestyle practices, becoming a better you, then you will, unfortunately, create roadblocks
mhm,
and create deterrences in your ability to grow at the rate that you desire to grow at. So, again, I would encourage you
yeah,
and I would say, be sure that whatever you do, you consider, as they would say on the airplanes, put your mask on first. Because I tell anyone that I'm working with, I can't be good for you if
right,
I am bad for myself.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
self-improvement and ensuring, and this is not a selfish thing, this is actually a selfless thing.
right.
Because the better you can show up for yourself in the marketplace is the better you can be capable and able to show up for others.
Oh, I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ross just gave you some wisdom, okay? Because guess what, folks? You got to read more, right? Got to read more. Guess what? If you don't want to read, there's audiobooks on the same subject, okay? So no excuse, right, Brother Ross, for us to learn what you're just talking about. None. No excuse at all, folks. Then you got people like Mr. Ross that you can contact, folks. There's his website up there, curtisross.com. Call, get your appointment set up, guys, between now and December, and of course next year as well. But guys, you've got to understand to learn. Always be learning. Always find out there's no reason why you can't figure out what you need to do, because there's information out there for you. Also, too, Mr. Ross, I wanted to tell people there's templates on how to budget for your home. There's free templates out there. Come on, people. You can just put in your information and it'll tell you everything that Mr. Ross just told you about, folks, how to plan and strategize and know the numbers. I got to put that out there, Brother Ross. You got to know your numbers in your family, folks. Or if you're single, with yourself, by yourself, you got to still know the numbers, folks. I know some people, Mr. Ross, if $1 is missing out of their wallet, they're going to know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 50 cents, they'll know exactly what's missing. So,
yes, sir.
Amazing, man. So, folks, you got to be literate. We want you to be educated, and we want you to be in charge of your finances today. Wow. Well, Brother Ross, if we miss anything, I want to make sure I give you enough time. Anything else you'd like to share? Are you good? We good? Wow. Incredible.
No. I appreciate the opportunity to share. I believe that from a simplistic standpoint, we have definitely provided some helpful information to your audience at large. So I appreciate the opportunity, Kevin.
Oh, absolutely. You're always welcome, Brother Curtis, on the network here because of the information that you have and the background that you are as well. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, real quickly, for those who don't know, you may be joining us. Curtis Ross, ladies and gentlemen, he's a licensed chaplain. He's also a professional life coach, as you can hear from his powerful voice there. He's a family man. He's also a financial expert as well, ladies and gentlemen, licensed in that area to help us grow our money, understand our money, and to move our money in the right directions as well. Just incredible. So I'm excited about that. So folks, I want you guys to share this out, right? I want you guys to contact Mr. Ross. He's on LinkedIn, Facebook, and his website. Get your discovery call, get your appointment set up, guys, and ask the questions that you need to ask. Now, keep in mind, your information is confidential with him, of course, so it's going to be individual. Everybody's needs are a little different, but I want to make sure you guys get your appointment in. Specifically, our young people, Brother Ross, our young people need some help. Don't think you have to do this by yourself, right? You guys ask questions. That's what Mr. Ross is all about, guys. He says right there, what? Be intentional and be you, right? But be intentional, guys. That's what we want you to do today, is be intentional in this area. That's powerful. Well, guys, we're going to get ready to roll out of here. Mr. Ross, thank you so much for your time today, man. Powerful time. Wow. Incredible. Keep in mind, you're always welcome to come back. If you got new information about our finances, man, feel free to come back. I don't care if it's 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour, whatever you need. Our goal is to educate, like you love people. You love people. You love helping people. Our goal is to educate our community all around the United States and even around the globe. So we're just excited about that. So thank you again, Curtis Ross, for being on Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan. Wow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Well, hold on, Curtis. We're going to leave everybody with a vision here. Hey, guys, first of all, share this out on all your social media platforms, because if we help one person today get to Mr. Ross and he helps them get to where they need to be, we'll be happy, folks. I'm anticipating at least 50 to 60 people will get excited out there and contact Mr. Ross. Set up that appointment, guys. But goal is to master your money, right? Get literate about money. Master your money, enjoy and continue to enjoy your life, guys. It's all here. He mentioned it. The Creator wants you to enjoy life, but guess what? We got to master stuff. We're supposed to dominate the entire planet, folks. That's what it's all about. But guess what? You got to have the education and the training, as Mr. Ross mentioned earlier. Hey, I'm going to leave you with this real quickly, guys. As my mentor would say, Brother Ross, remember to always out-love, out-serve, and out-forgive each other. And remember, there's nothing you can't do with the right information, folks. Mr. Ross, thank you again for your time, man. Appreciate you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you all take care. Have a great day. Don't forget to share this out. And this has been Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan and my great guest today, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Vaughan with you today, but also Mr. Curtis Ross with you today, talking about our finances. This is very serious, folks. This is a big area for me. So I want you guys to take heart. Set up that appointment, get with Mr. Ross as soon as possible, guys, curtisross.com, and learn some more about his services and get that appointment set up as well. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next time. Hey, enjoy your day, be intentional, and be on purpose. And also, too, Brother Ross, happy holidays, man. Happy Thanksgiving coming up this week.
Yes, sir.
Amen. God bless you, everybody. Take care. And y'all enjoy your wonderful life. And we'll see you next time on Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan. God bless you, everybody. Bye-bye now. Thank you so much for your time. Hey, guys, don't forget to share this out.